Hi, this is Dr. Tieche with our MedMinute for the week. So the question that was submitted, which is a very popular question, is what are the top foods that cause inflammation and what should we avoid to stay healthier? Well, it's so much about this in the news. Really, if you look at a list of the things that are the bad things to eat, honestly, you could almost just go, if it tastes really good, it's probably stuff that's bad for you. So it's going to be the first thing we're going to look at is sugars, all types of sugar process, just whether it's a plain sugar that's in sodas and candies, and then high fructose syrup, which is going to be in a lot of cereals. And it's really added to so many foods to really help sweeten it and make it more palatable. The problem with these really refined sugars is they're ultra processed, but more importantly, they cause blood sugar spikes. What happens is it goes right into your bloodstream. Your blood sugar goes up, your body dumps out a lot of insulin, causes the blood sugar to go up and down, and causes a huge inflammatory response in your body. But at the cellular level, there's all kinds of stuff happening. At blood vessel levels, there's things happening. It's causing damage to the cells. It's causing fatty liver, which is damage to your liver and joints and things like that. So that's why those are so bad. It's not just, oh, well, they taste good and we should avoid them. No. So then you look at other things, ultra processed flour type products, white bread, rice, pasta, things like that. Anything that's ultra processed is going to be equally as bad. It causes almost equal amount of blood sugar spikes as just eating pure sugar. So it is just as bad. Yes, it tastes good, and the initial thought behind the processing was to make it so that it has a longer shelf life and all of this kind of stuff that can be readily available, but there is a huge downside. Our bodies were not designed to digest it. When it comes in, we don't digest it properly. We have all these blood sugar spikes, things like that. We get very fat from it because of so much insulin load. What else is dangerous? Oils, synthetic oils like palm oil and cottonseed oil and all of these other synthetic oils that are used for cooking. They have a lot of trans fats in them, and they actually cause our lipids to get very disrupted. Plus, they are inflammatory to our body. When we say that, it's not like, oh, they make my joints hurt. They're inflammatory at a cellular level. They cause these inflammatory markers to be generated. What that does is those things cause damage on the inner lining of the blood vessels. When that lining is disrupted, it's much like a newly paved road. It's nice and smooth. The blood's going through, the lipids are going through, everything is working fine. When you start having more inflammation, the inner lining of that blood vessel starts getting bumpy and disrupted. And what happens is little cracks in it, like cracks in the road, and stuff gets in it. And then all of a sudden we know that the road's breaking. But what's happening is we're getting plaque buildup underneath the blood vessels. So this is the whole problem with inflammation. Once it starts, it creates a process. So yes, it's somewhat reversible, and yes, we can stop it where it is, but by continuing to eat these things, it continues to cause a problem. And a lot of times we know that these things are doing that because they just make us not feel good after we eat them. Then we can look at really ultra-processed foods that we buy. Deli meats, things like that, pre-made packaged foods, the mac and cheese, and all of these things that we've all grown up on, learned to love. But when you look at some of these things and look at the ingredients, there's almost nothing in there that resembles food. In fact, I just read an article that most of the mac and cheese literally has no cheese in it. Everything that is in there is a synthetic component to it that makes it look like cheese and taste like cheese, but there's nothing in there that's cheese. So these things are very difficult for our bodies to digest. It would be no different than grinding a plastic bottle and saying eating it and put some ketchup on it, but they're very bad for us. They cause a big reaction, even though at the time they taste good. And that's the reason why, on the one hand, they're designed because we have to feed a lot of people, but so they're not necessarily bad to take in small amounts, but it's bad when you eat them a lot. I know I could talk about this for hours. I know I have only a short period of time. So I just wanted to say, stay away from stuff that's processed. Eat stuff that's on the outside of the supermarket. Everything that's fresh is going to be much better. The easier it is, probably the worse it is. Have a great day, and think about submitting your next question.